Say hi to a quality band. Who is that? Get out of the way, man. Say hi to a quality band.
The incident you've just seen has given me a back of the grid penalty, and there's one more change, one more critical announcement that happened 2 days before the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I'll summarise, but basically, in a nutshell, due to low attendance, the final round at Mexico, or the final scheduled round at Mexico, has been cancelled. Therefore, the de facto new final round is going to be today's episode at Brazil. And as you've just seen, we have a back of the grid penalty, which unfortunately means we are in massive, massive trouble. It's not just the season ending one round sooner, it's the fact we have one less round to recover the effects of this back of the grid penalty. And not just that, if we look at the championship, today's episode, today's race, which is now the finale, is suddenly a winner takes all between myself, Neok and Spezzy. 6 points cover the three of us. It's literally that close. It's winner takes all here in Brazil. We start from the back with no qualifying at all. So guys, give me your thoughts. What did you think of that penalty incident? Today, we're going to have to fight. Now, 15 drivers have turned up for this race. Not a full grid, so we're starting 15th in the race. But still, work to be done. Brazil, for overtaking, is notoriously difficult. Again, if you want to see the previous episode, guys, Las Vegas, to see more context, to see what happened, I'll leave it on screen now. I'm also going to leave another video, which I posted yesterday, which was a training session with Thomas Ronha that I did for this particular event. So we're going to see if the training pays off. Either way, we're starting from the back, guys. Leave a like on the video. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. Subscribe for more. And let's see what happens in this winner take all. So here we go then. It's showtime. And I've opted for the hard tyres. Reason being, as you can see, everyone is on the medium. So I want to try something different, but that's not going to stop the aggression, as I want to try and get as many moves done as possible, as there's some contact there between the Ferrari, which basically ruins the good start that I had, as it seems David and Marcos in the Williams come together, which really wasn't ideal. That allows Rasenberg back through, and you know, we had overtaken him, so not really the best start. We do overtake the Ferrari into turn 4 and regain that position that we gained, but could have been a few more by now if things had gone a little bit differently. Anyway, for this one, we're aiming for the one stop. It's going to be the reverse one stop, so pitting around lap 20, switching on to mediums. But forget that, contact again, this time Kryzik's involved, also Will Gibson, and it's all just a massive cluster as everyone's fighting for track position. Luckily we avoid contact, we get a bit of a tap on the rear through the hairpin from the Ferrari behind us. We race down towards the final corner. You can see Nico Rasenberg overtaking Kryzik's in the Red Bull as we head up onto the pit straight for the second time this race. This is going to really test our straight line speed, and I'm burning everything, so it seems we are a little bit slow on the straights.
Okay, DRS is now available.
So we're going to settle in and see what we can do. David in the Ferrari has retired, I'm guessing potentially for wing damage when he hit the back of me. Into the hairpin is my guess. We're using all of our battery at it.
Green flag.
To try and pressure Kryzik's. Heading down towards turn 4. He's actually out of battery, but not quite close enough to throw the lunge. We keep the pressure on though, on the way out of the corner. And we're just going to try and really just keep him on his edge, you know, trying to make sure that he doesn't get comfortable. And we're always there as we head to the hairpin. Straight down the inside. Big lunge. We get it stopped. A racing room being given at all times. Still keeping our car alongside as we head towards the second hairpin, taking the tighter lower line, still side by side. Good racing between the two of us here as we now head downhill towards the final corner. and this one's going to be critical. We're going to leave room also on the inside again here, but we're going to square the corner off nicely and get a really good exit and power up and get the traction down, and we move into P13. So end of lap 2, up 2 spots. Could have been 3 had we made the overtake on Rasenberg's stick. But yeah, we're now onto the back of Marcos Olmedo in the Williams. We surprise him with a lunge into the hairpin. He tries to give us a squeeze. We're going to still fight this one and just make him uncomfortable. We let him just move in front, as at the minute he's out of the ice range of Nico ahead. So that means this overtake should be easy for us to make. Onto the pit straight, battery cranked up, DRS open. Can we get this done? Down towards turn 1. Getting the run. We are definitely struggling for straight line speed, and we're not that quick. Maybe our wings are a bit higher than everybody else, and what I thought may have been low wings with my setup has ended up being a bit too high. Either way, we are up into P12, and that is now 3 places gained in 4 laps on the hard tyre, by the way. Everybody else is on mediums. Remember that. Very important factor in this race. Now, we took a couple of laps to basically manage, applying what we learned from Thomas Ronhaar in the coaching session, just managing our tyres, managing our fuel engine temperature, and then we caught up to Nico Rasenberg and Will Gibson. If we get these two, we're going to be in the points. So I'm going to try and get a move on here. After a couple of laps of tyre saving, we're going to go to the outside here into the center S. We're going to open up the line. Nico tries to outbrake. He runs it a bit deep, slight contact with the Sauber. We set up the exit beautifully here. We just have to wait though, as the corner doesn't really favour us in terms of the line. But you can see he's flashing, which means he's got no battery left, and we walk past on the right side and move into P11. Will Gibson also trying to save his battery. I'm expecting him to be tough to beat. He's obviously Neok's teammate in the other Sauber, so I expect him to be playing team duties and trying to defend and save her. We're going to try and just launch it right away. At this point, the hard tyre is probably the better tyre and is working just more consistently for us, and we just walk around the outside and pull off a beautiful overtake and move into P10, into the points. However, there is an issue. You can see ahead and look at the mini-map. The train has split. We've lost contact with the lead group. Something's happened over the last lap or so involving the two up at the front of this train, and we are no longer in that lead group which contains Spezi and Neok. So we need to move up here because this race is getting away, and as I say that, cars are pitting already. Wow, cars are in already? And yeah, Spezi is one of them. There's also Will Gibson, who's got very low wing, by the way. Surprised me with a lunge into turn 1. We're going to fight it back, though, into turn 2. Getting the elbows out and just trying to get in front. Do that. Luckily, we get it done this time, but yeah, Will's doing his team role, which is, absolutely fair enough. I completely understand. Trying to work for Neok as Formula Kai runs,
making mistakes.
Runs wide off track. And now you can see Alex here giving us the little squeeze as we almost get run out of road. But yeah, I believe it was Kai and I think maybe Tachubi who've been losing all this time in this pack over the last couple of laps, and it's really hurting.
Okay.
So yeah, now a few more cars into the pit lane at this stage.
This is perfect.
That's going to give us clean air. Neok still out there in P1.
Get a chance to make a bit of a difference here. Everyone pitting super early this race. Like really early. We're talking weirdly early. This is not what I had in the simulations at all. My first objective is to drop Will and try and work to catch Neok. Neok and Noah in, so I'm going to stick to my strategy here.
We'll see. We'll see exactly how this pans out. Again, I'm planning for a one-stop, so we still need to do 10 more laps on these tyres, but everyone has bowed very early for their pit stops.
Maybe they're two-stopping.
And that's exactly what I'm thinking. Maybe they're trying to go through a 2. Here's tyre wear update. We're 54 on the right rear, which is a little bit high. We'll keep this in mind for this time next lap as a reference. So it was 54 on this lap. I want to see what the lap per lap percentage is. Our lap times are also dropping a little bit. We're in the high 111s. And to be fair, the leaders are only 5 seconds behind, so they're really catching. And I feel like my pace is really fading at this stage. 1 lap later, we're on 58, so we're averaging about 4% per lap. So it's looking very tight.
This is not going entirely to plan. Tyre wear is higher than when I simmed this earlier. and practiced this earlier.
Now, puncture territory is 75%. And I can tell you now, we are well into the 60s. You can see the tyre wear indicator is on. So we are not going to do 4 laps. It's not going to happen. 4 laps at 4%, you know, the math isn't going to add up. So we're going to box.
Right, I need to change plan. Change strap. I wasn't going to make it. 1 stop was the plan. Looked okay in the sims, but tyre wear seems to be higher in this one, so we're going to have to pivot. I thought I picked hards, but I obviously didn't. That's a bit of a mistake on my behalf, but all good.
Okay, 1 stop to go. Just 1 stop left in this strategy.
I think everyone else will box again. So I think it's going to be a 2-stop race.
And yeah, I think that's going to be likely. Everyone's switching to a 2. I'm switching to a 2 now. I was meant to go for the hards. I also...
Yeah, change of plan. Maximum push.
I also didn't press the pit entry at the right time, so I had a slow stop. But we've got straight down to business on the mediums going purple.
The plan was to go for a 1, but I think with our battling really hurt our tyres. Unfortunately. Cars it in for their second stops. Assuming another set of hards. That's what they're going to go for.
So everybody else is already onto their second and final pit stops of this race. The medium isn't really a great tyre. I was hoping to use this at the end, but again, I didn't properly select the hards on the first stint, so that's on me. And we're going to have to run hards later on because the softs are out of the the equation completely. The softs
in the York is huge.
The softs just don't last. They just simply go off and also crucially overheat very quickly, so they're not a good race tyre. Now, as expected, Will Gibson is staying out, and staying out for one reason only, to make my race more complex. Also, he's staying out for a safety car, would be my guess. But yeah, at this stage, Ryan Jacobs is pitting. His teammate Neok is still staying out in the net race lead, trying to build an overcut. You can see here, Will's wings are very low because I'm trying to overtake here, but I'm barely making a scratch, even with DRS down the straight. Out of turn 2, we're going to try and wind this up through turn 3 using all the battery. He's actually pulling away from us as we try to wind it up down towards turn 4, but I'm just not getting enough momentum, and now Will's burnt himself out of battery, so I know he's going to be low this time as Neok pits, which means Will have to stay out for another lap. I know he's got no battery because I saw him burn it down towards turn 4. So now we're going to move up and move through. He doesn't defend, just makes himself hard to pass as Spezzy goes quickest, and he's already pit. He's going to the end. So this race is really unraveling in real time in front of our eyes, because by the end of that lap, we dropped Will, but Spezzy has arrived, and frankly, there's nothing I can do. We're just going to let him go. He's got way more pace at this stage. And Will Gibson's going to pit, so he's going to undercut me, so likely we're going to have to pass him again this race for a 3rd time. And yeah, lap 27, this is the lap where in the bottom right you can see my tyre wear icon came on. The wear on these tyres, I don't know why it was so much higher than what I did in the practice runs with Ronha. Granted, I was pushing flat out in this one because I was trying to recover my race, and I knew it was going to be a 2-stopper. And I am going to try and see if we can make the hard tyres work in this final stint. I do...
That's good. Oh my god. I didn't even get the speedometer. Where's the speedometer? Why didn't I get the speedo? I was waiting for it to pop up and it never did. Oh well, we're never going to get a point in this race.
I do go into the pit a bit crazy.
It hasn't gone to plan at all.
But I was waiting for the speedo, which didn't appear, and that's what threw me off a little bit in terms of the speed I wanted to carry. And luckily we didn't speed in terms of penalty, but we didn't really have an optimal pit entry. So yeah, on to lap 29, now to lap 30. We've caught up to Will again. He's now got a time pen. We're going to go with a personal best over the line on these hard tyres, and we're going to see if we can try and pass them. These tyres are really, really good race tyre. The ideal strat would have been hard, medium if we wanted to make this work. It was basically the same strategy I had in mind on the 1-stop. Everybody's starting on mediums, going to hards. We start on hards, then go to mediums, but basically an extra stint in between. So everybody else done medium, hard. We would have done hard, medium. But now trying to get past Will, we've got way more pace, but we're just unable to pass on the straight. So we get it done in the corners. Lovely move around the outside. We also turn in early to avoid him trying to re-lunge and re-dive down the inside at the hairpin. And yeah, P12, we go purple. Another personal best, but surprise, surprise. Right, fantastic. Loads of room on the inside. I knew that was coming anyway, and I still left space. Will still managed to challenge. He was like 7 tenths at the start of the straight and managed to challenge me into turn 1. Luckily we defend, but again, it's not optimal, and Will doing a good job of costing me probably a couple of seconds over the entire race in terms of, you know, battling and making himself a bit of a nuisance, which is fair enough.
We have to remember these days, there's no guarantee they're going to last forever. Enjoy them as long as they last. I love you guys.
Well, congrats to Spezzy on the title. Well, actually, no, Neok won it, I think, but Spezzy wins the race. We go out on an absolute whimper. Disappointing, gutting, and we're going to lose that fast lap as well.
So basically, in a nutshell, what happened there was a massive miscalculation. So when I practiced with Thomas Ronhar, we had a tyre wear level in mind based off, you know, the kind of pace I was running. Unfortunately, we didn't really account for battling to have that much of an effect. We knew there'd be some, you know, effect, but not that much. And ultimately, all the battles really did ruin my tyres, thus ruining my one-stop strategy. And yeah, unfortunately, it didn't work out. There was also other factors at play. The train, the DRS train, broke up very quickly around P8 in the first stint, which let the leaders get away, including Spezzy and Neok. The train didn't stay intact, and yeah, there was some really important moments in that one which didn't go our way. And unfortunately, because the last round got cancelled, that is it. The season's over, and we didn't just not win, we actually dropped to 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship. We scored no points today, and yeah, your champion is Neok. Spezzy, although he won the race, did not win the championship. He nearly did, very unlucky from him. But yeah, for us, there's a few key moments we have to look back on in the season. Obviously, this race did not go to plan, but it partly didn't go to plan because we had a back of the grid penalty, which was an issue in itself. Other rounds where I think we let ourselves down, really the first few rounds of the season, we just weren't quite there. Looking back at Austria, we were in the fight for a win, at least a podium, before the last lap crash happened, again involving Kai, which was a shame. And yeah, there was a few moments along the way which I think really stood out. But either way, guys, I'm very happy to have got 2 race wins, a pole position, and we fought for the championship. So we'll see what happens next season. I'm hoping, I would like to be around tier 5 and go up 2 tiers. I think that's possible, that's feasible, and that's also doable for me to have a decent result, even if I move up to hopefully still be competitive. So we'll see what happens next season. In the meantime, guys, I'd appreciate a like on the video. Let's try and smash 1,000 likes. Subscribe for more. Apologies for not bringing the title home, but still a good season all round. And yeah, we move on, guys, to whatever is next. I plan to race in PSGL and WOR next season, so we're going to be doing dual-purpose league racing. So we'll see how that goes. Cheers for watching. As always, a massive shout out to the channel members for supporting the content. Check out the 2 videos on screen for more like this. And yeah, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care. Have a good one. And let's goodbye from me. Ciao, ciao.